Is this thing on? Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad. Welcome to the show. Good evening from Cyprus. It's about 10 past 8, 20 past 8 in the evening. Very excited to be here. Very excited to talk to all of you. So the floor is yours. Comment. 2 pre-recorded videos today talking about the calamity of these delayed DCEU movies. And if you're in doubt that the VFX excuse is bullshit or the COVID excuse is bullshit, think about this. They sent a trailer with the Batman advertising their free DCEU movies. So something happened recently to force them into postponing these movies. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, starring Timothy Chalamet, was also postponed. Why? The legend CJ, the DCEU is dead. Bury it. Consider this mercy. Superman should have said that in BVS. Yeah, definitely. Very sad, because I happen to like the early days of the DCEU. Very sad. They interfered with the man's vision. Could have been different. They appointed the man. They should have allowed the man to finish. And it's very, very sad. But it's not sad in the scheme of things, because things will be sorted out now. And we'll have a DC universe to be proud of once they restructure it. But definitely this is down to Discovery. There's no question about that in my mind. And there's a lot of people in denial right now about that. Henrik, Ricky Mickey. Good evening, Henrik. How are you? Hope you're okay. So this is a very serious issue, because we were expecting these free movies. Henrik came here from the John Campis stream. You are streaming at the same time. Oh, wow. Whoa, that's some kind of connection with him then, isn't it? What's his take on all this then? What does he think? The legend CJ, so will there be a new universe after these movies come out? Or how will it work? I would assume they will salvage whatever they can from this franchise. Maybe Henry Cavill's Superman, I don't know. But there will be self-contained universes. I think directors will come in, have their take on Superman or Plastic Man or whoever, and they will do their thing. There may not be a shared universe, but also they may bring someone in to construct a new shared universe. Henrik, he says it's fun. He didn't see long, right? It's not fun. It's very serious if you care about this franchise. We want a DC live-action universe to be proud of. Shannon Gray, what is the real point of the pushbacks of release dates? Well, it's clear to me that this is Discovery. They're not happy. They're not happy. The delay. I mean, this is what you've all got to understand. These dates that they've rescheduled may not even be honoured. Please smash a like on the video, please. But these dates, you may not even see those films even then. Let's see what's going on. But the excuse about COVID and VFX is bullshit. And let me explain to you why the VFX excuse is bullshit. And I know that James Wan came out with that, a man I have a lot of respect for. But they knew when they scheduled these movies how long they were going to take for VFX. So that's bullshit. James Wan would have had until December to perfect his movie. Come on. We're not children. So this is all bullshit. You do not wait to do this on the year you're releasing these movies. You don't send a trailer with your latest DC Universe movie showing off about what you're going to release. unless WB Pictures are so toxic that they try to go against Discovery to try and garner some popularity and hope that Discovery saw the reaction and didn't, insist on the movies being delayed. Henry, yeah, I think something has happened. I do it's Discovery. I hope it's for the best. They wouldn't have done anything if they didn't have a reason. I'm glad at least got the Batman. Yeah, me too. John, hi, Mick. How are you today? Very well, John. How are you doing? Channel Grey, does it have anything to do with the Batman being such a major success? Well, Channel Grey, it could. This could kind of make them think maybe, the DC Extended Universe isn't the way to go at it. Toby Emmerich said earlier this week about films don't have to have Easter eggs and cameos. And listen, it doesn't matter if the Batman was successful or not. We know since Zack Snyder's left, the DCEU hasn't exactly, it's not a better universe since Zack left. Isaac makes edits. They need to reset the entire DCEU, reset producers, directors, everything. The entire slate needs to be wiped clean off and go with the Batman because this is ridiculous. Yes, Isaac makes edits. You're absolutely right. And I've said it before on my videos. After Justice League, I would have disbanded this DC Extended Universe and started from scratch. The Legend, CJ, do you think they're going to start over a reboot of all the characters for a new DCEU? It's something that I would do. It's something that I would have done after Justice League. But these people did this with Justice League. They tried to rebrand Snyder's movie. They're trying to use Flashpoint to rebrand a hobbling franchise. It's a very difficult thing to do. I was excited about the multiverse strategy. If they didn't do this, I would have still been excited. But this has opened my eyes. John, I have not heard any more news on the Batgirl movie on Twitter. No, John. That's the thing, isn't it? They've changed all these dates, but Batgirl's in limbo. There was never a date for Batgirl officially. Never. And it can't come before the Flash movie. But this is another thing, John and everyone. Think about this. Right, the official slate was going to be Black Adam, The Flash, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Now, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom will come before The Flash. This year, it would have come after The Flash. And considering they were doing Flashpoint, and surely Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom would have to reference that, how does that work in this movie? I don't get it. So it's a mess. It means that either Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom wasn't going to reference Flashpoint, which is very hard to believe, or they weren't doing what they should have done. The Legend CJ, as always, Batman has to say not just Gotham, but Warner Brothers itself. Well, it's a great take, and it's a very popular take. But the Batman or not, the DCEU since Snyder's gone, Hishan Kishi, what if Warner Brothers are trolling us with an early April Fool's joke? No, they're not. They're not trolling us. Well, they are trolling us in a way. They're taking the piss out of us. This is a franchise with hardly any consumer confidence. Doing this has killed any goodwill that they had. Isaac makes edits. I have a theory. Perhaps they pushed the movies earlier than The Flash because they tend to erase it or reset it with the Flash movie. I mean, look, maybe, I don't know. Because Aquaman originally was coming after the Flash movie. It doesn't make sense. Isaac makes edits. It doesn't make... there's no logic to it. John, the Flash has been delayed 5 different times. Yeah. But this is a different kind of delay. This is a situation they should have foresaw last year. They could have changed things last year. It was obvious these things were going to move, but you don't wait till a few months down the line. As I said on my video today, psychologically, it's not fair on the fans. The Legend CJ, they should have the writers and storyboard people from the animated universe to help with the live action. They plan out everything. Well, this is the thing about Wonder Woman 2017. Alan Heinberg, a Wonder Woman writer, wrote the story for that movie. That's why it's such a great movie. I've always wondered why more comic book writers are not involved in live action content. Abraham Herrera, I don't know how much is because of the VFX, but maybe they will add Superman cameos. Well, the VFX excuse doesn't stand with me, Abraham Herrera, because they knew their scheduling. They knew how long they had for VFX. It's bullshit. Isaac makes edits. Exactly. You're absolutely right, the legend CJ. The legend CJ does make a very good point. So I'm not believing any of this bullshit, and people are going along with this. And as usual, our lovely movie journalists are not investigating or reporting properly. They're not looking into this. And, they're part of the system and they're part of the problem. Even Grace Randolph was going on about VFX on her video I saw today. It isn't about VFX. We were all looking forward to seeing The Flash in November. And you've taken it away from us. You can't wait till this year to do that. Isaac makes edits. What if they delayed it to include the Batman in The Flash due to its amazing success recently? Well, considering Matt Reeves has said he's not interested in the DCEU, it's unlikely, but it wouldn't mean they'd have to delay the movie till next June. So I'm not having that either. The legend CJ, people are not understanding the things we know. They don't understand. They're gutting Warner Brothers. Yeah, this is Warner Discovery. It is obvious. Another thing could be, maybe if we did hear some rumors that there was no Superman and they were going to use Supergirl to replace Superman. And maybe Zaslav and Discovery have said, oh, no, you fucking don't. And maybe because Zaslav's going to restore the Snyderverse, that might be another issue with The Flash being delayed. I don't know about the other movies. And I also don't understand why Charlie and the Chocolate Factory has been delayed as well. It's not a coincidence that next month Discovery are coming in. Abraham Herrera, I think it's better at this point for them to finish the arc with JL2 and JL3 and the restart. At this point, it's the best thing they can do. Yeah, because Zack's got an ending to his arc. So that it's not a prolonged thing. Hisham Kishi, wow, imagine if Bruce Timm, Jin Lee and Scott Snyder wrote the live-action movies. Marvel would probably sell all of its rights to DC immediately. Bruce Timm, and I've said this, Bruce Timm should have been the DC president from the very beginning. The man's a genius. He's created an animated universe better than anything the DCEU's ever done or Arrowverse has ever done. Why wasn't he brought in? They allowed Christopher Nolan to run this franchise because he made a good trilogy. This is not what you do. Christopher Nolan has no understanding of comics or love of comics. Metahuivan, they will reboot it, I think. Well, do you know what, Metahuivan? That was the plan with Flash. I don't know what they're playing at here. Henrik, Mickey, riddle me this. The less of them you have, the more one is worth. What is it? Warner Brothers Pictures, I don't know. You tell me, Henrik. You tell me. I mean, the DCEU's been doomed for a very long time. Let's be honest about this. This has been a hobbling old man. I mean, credit to the franchise for keep on going after setback after setback. The legend CJ, I won't make sense for Snyder to finish his timeline because either way, there's going to be 2 Flashpoints after the Snyderverse and the Flash movie. That's if the Flash movie ever happens. They may reassert the Flash movie to kind of cross over with the Snyderverse. I don't know. Henrik, a friend. Hisham Kishi. Nolan was never in it for the long run. He just wanted to give his take on Batman, then go back to making movies with original screenplays. But the point is, Hisham Kishi, he was in charge of the DCEU. He's the one who brought on Snyder. He co-wrote Man of Steel. So he was involved. And he was involved because of his success with the Dark Knight trilogy. He wasn't the right man to run this franchise, even though he wasn't there for a long time. Isaac makes edits. I'm absolutely fuming, Mick. Me and you both. Abraham Herrera, how long do you think till we get answers after the merger? Very quickly, I think. I think it will be a lot of action, maybe more than words, but I think things are going to get moving very quickly. John, off topic, did you see the Darth Vader picture on Twitter? I did, John, but it's not that overly impressive. It's just a distance picture of Darth Vader, isn't it? I would have liked to have seen a picture of Hayden by now. Hisham Kishi, doesn't Charles Roven have the biggest involvement in the DCEU films? He's been a producer. He was a producer in the Snyder days. He was a producer on the Suicide Squad. I don't think he's as involved as he used to be. Just say the word zoinks. Why not release Shazam 2 in March 14th, 2022? I don't know. I have no idea. Well, for some reason, they want it to be released after Black Adam. So there's a reason for that within the narrative, probably. That's if we think these dates are going to be honoured. Because once someone pulls the rug from underneath you, you don't know what they're going to do. I'm absolutely astonished that this is how a studio is run. Just say the word zoinks. Why are they releasing Shazam 2 in the same day as Avatar 2? Are these people mentally ill or what? Well, think about this. They had Aquaman originally on that date, and I think Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom had a better chance because of the high concept of James Wan. This film, I mean, although if we know Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman's in this film, that can help. If Superman's in Shazam 2 as well, then that could really help it, because seeing Henry Cavill's Superman is something we've all wanted for a long time. So maybe they'll make an announcement about who's in the film. Meta Hooven, I've seen a documentary about WB as always having problems from the very beginning. Well, it depends what you mean, the very beginning. They've been around for, 100 years? Isaac makes edits. Is this because of Discovery? Haven't they taken over Warner Brothers? No, it's not complete yet. No, I think it's next month. When it's complete, they will be called Warner Brothers Discovery. Anu Krishnan, do you think that by releasing the Flash movie next year after the movie like Aquaman, Shazam, Black Adam, are they planning to create Flashpoint and reset the characters in the timeline and Zack's vision? Well, the idea was for Flashpoint to reboot the franchise whenever it was released anyway. Henrik, some are going to be fired at WB. They are. Those shitheads that are scared about their jobs. We need someone who had a clear vision for the DCEU. Enough. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Hisham Kishi, as much as I hate the people that run Warner Brothers, you have to admit that they make the greatest movies ever. Well, it depends what movies you're talking about, isn't it? Birds of Prey isn't the greatest movie ever. Wonder Woman 84 isn't the greatest movie ever. But they don't make the movies. They don't make the movies, do they? Isaac makes edits. Matt Reeves should step up right now. I need him to fix these studio twats. Well, the problem is he's just a director. He can't oversee who's running everything. Just say the word zoinks. No Wonder Woman or Superman can save Shazam 2 from Avatar 2, especially after Wonder Woman 84 flopping hard and Superman Cavill still not in good terms with them. Well, no, I don't agree. Just say the word zoinks. I don't agree at all. Everyone wants to see Cavill, and people love Gal's Wonder Woman despite Wonder Woman 84. So that would uplift the film, in my opinion, a great deal. Hisham Kishi, no, leave Matt Reeves out of it. Leroy Vermillion, 770, at Hisham Kishi, Trullo. Well, no one's putting Matt Reeves in it. Matt Reeves is doing what he's doing. But he was appointed by these people. So I don't know what Discovery are thinking about that. Isaac makes edits. Matt Reeves can be the Kevin Feige of the DCEU. Well, he's the Kevin Feige of his own universe, that's for sure. He's not going to get involved with the DCEU. That's for sure. But he is the Kevin Feige of his own universe, which really now is the future of DC live action, as is the Joker, Todd Phillips' Joker franchise. I believe that his Joker sequel is a Harley and a Joker movie, which will be huge. You know, they got us all excited. At DC Fandom 2020, they were talking about their plans, the multiverse strategy, and look where we are now. And I could tell there was a problem with the last Fandom because it didn't pop as hard as the other one. Matthias Okafor, I heard that Zack wants the Snyderverse to be canon to the Flash movie. Who told you that? I'm not saying it's not true, but the legend CJ, for $1 billion company, you expect a bit of professionalism and organization. Exactly. These are people chasing their tails. Abraham Herrera and the contract with J.J. Abrams, I wonder what's going to happen with that. Probably abolished. We haven't heard any updates about his project. I think he's probably going to be out the door. Dr. Zack, it's happening. The Snyderverse will be restored, I agree. And other DCU projects will have to readjust their storylines accordingly. That could be the reason, my friend. Henrik, I hear John Camper is playing the new Superman and Grace is Wonder Woman. Both cameos in Black Adam, yeah, and Shazam. John, when do you think we will hear if the Batgirl movie is getting delayed? I think it has to be delayed, but they're going to have to come out and say something soon. But, I mean, they haven't given it a date. There's no date on it. So it's not a delay. They'd actually have to give us a date for it. I feel sorry for the filmmakers. I feel sorry for Andy Muschietti. James Wan seems to be happy because it gives him more time if he actually means it. You know, I feel sorry for the cast and crews of these films because they get excited. They get pushed along for the ride. Hisham Kishi, George Miller would own the DCEU. I wish we got a chance to see his cancelled Justice League movie. Me too. Just say the word Zoiks. They made a good decision to delay Black Adam, Aquaman 2 and Flash. But Aquaman 2 release date doesn't fit since they did well back in December 2018. 2018. The Shazam 2 release date is the biggest mess. Well, I don't... Listen, the whole thing's just weird, my friend. We don't wait until a few months until we're going to release movies to change the dates. They sent a promotion to cinemas to lead into the Batman that these films were coming out. What happened? Isaac makes edits. As much as I love the Snyderverse, I feel like they need to start again, perhaps with the same cast, but again. Well, listen, Zack has only got 2 movies to complete, right? And it's done. But they may give him something more. I don't know what's going on exactly, but I do know when you readjust movies in the year they're supposed to be released and you send the trailer about these 3 movies being released, right? There's a bit of an issue here. Isaac makes edits. As much as I love this, no, I've read that. 15 views, only 3 likes. Very disappointing that you don't like me. Smash the like button, please. Everyone in the chat, smash the like button. Come on. So they're going to leave the chat now so they don't have to like it. Matthias Okafor, I don't care about the merger. I just want a good and connected cinematic universe. Well, whether you care about the merger or not, it's a very important thing. If it stops things being greenlit and if they're changing things, it's very, very relevant. I don't particularly care about it, but I have to care about it because it's affecting the franchise that I want to see. Isaac makes edits. Exactly, completely agree with you, Matthias Okafor. Yeah, you may agree with him, but the point is the merger is affecting everything. That's the point. Just say the word Zonks. Their decision to delay is understandable. No, it's not. Because of massive VFX. No. post-production work of these projects. I only have problem with 2 of the release dates. Listen to my, just say the word zoinks. Right. They knew when their movies were scheduled how much time they would have for VFX. It's a bullshit excuse. It's not true. I don't agree with that, and you're entitled to your opinion. Android 118XX. Imagine Superman making an appearance from reshoots in Black Adam movie. It could set up a Superman and Shazam versus Black Adam type of movie. It'll be a smart move from Discovery. Listen, something's going on. Feige did a similar thing with Doctor Strange. Did loads of reshoots and put more cameos in. But I don't know if that's the case. The Legend CJ, in the future, would you consider having call-ins so we could discuss with you about these particular issues? I would like that. That would be cool. It's a great idea. I don't have any idea how I would do that. Henrik, Mickey, are you planning on upgrading your setup in the future? A lot of people watching your vids and streams now, Uncle Mickey, Ricky, DC, King. Listen, I really want to. I bought a nice little HD camera, but unfortunately it doesn't go in my laptop. I'm waiting for the adjustment. They're messing me about. But of course I want to improve the service that I give out. Yes, that is the plan. Just say the word Zod. So what do you think is the reason? I believe it's down to Discovery coming in. It's down to the merger. They've seen these films. They don't like whatever they've done in them, and that's part of it. But they're going to change this company. So going forward, DC is the most important thing. And they clearly don't like the plans. And they obviously didn't like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory either. Isaac makes edits for call-ins. We could use Discord, an amazing voice chat platform and free. Well, I have heard of it. I wouldn't even know how to implement it, though. It's a really good idea, and I'd be very interested in doing that. Dr. Zack, another reason for shifting Aquaman may be Avatar 2. Well, no, Dr. Zack, all due respect, because they put Shazam, Fury of the Gods, on the same date. So that's not the reason. You don't wake up one morning on the year you're going to release the movies, send the trailer that these movies are still happening on that year, and wake up one morning and change the dates. It doesn't make sense. Dr. Zayazaka, oh yeah. That's the problem. I've heard all the things about VFX and COVID. It doesn't make sense. They sent the trailer to cinemas. Isaac makes edits. I think Aquaman is going to be shifted again. It's too close to Avatar 2. Aquaman is coming out in March, my friend. Next March. It's nowhere near Avatar 2. Henrik, Discord is quite easy. Download PGM, make a user and create share link. People can talk there. I'll have to see how that's done. I'm definitely interested. Just say the word Zoiks. You think they will stick to these current release dates? I have my doubts. Once, it's like the story of the boy who cried wolf. He kept on crying wolf, and when a wolf was going to attack him and he was screaming for help, no one came out their houses to help him. And it's the same thing here. It's the way they've done it. It's the timing. It's terrible. If you were going to do this, why not do it last year? It makes no sense. But I don't trust that they're going to stick to these. They're just giving themselves breathing space. You don't tell your public. You don't send a fucking trailer. A week ago, this trailer was on. A week ago, people were telling me it's there. And then they moved the films. There's no logic to it. Just say the word Zoiks. Good thing would be pushing Aquaman 2 to December 2023, where it would do best just like back in 2018. Well, you're talking about delaying a movie, over a year? Just because it did well in the December. It would have done well this December as well. But they're the ones who put it there in the first place. The Batman did well in March. Why can't Aquaman 2 do well in March as well? as I keep on saying, it's a psychological thing as well for fans. Because no one knows what the fuck's going on. So people, of course, people are going to come up with conspiracy theories. It's their fault. I was defending them. I was excited about the multiverse strategy. And then they pulled the rug from underneath us. And it's wrong. Just because they're fighting for their jobs. And they're trying to play silly tactics that are not going to work. Abraham Herrera. You're right, Mick. I saw the trailer when I went to see Spider-Man. Exactly. So clearly, they had every intention of releasing these movies, and VFX wasn't an effing issue then, was it? Just say the words, Avatar 2 about humiliate Warners in DC 2022. I don't listen. You can't humiliate people when you're a popular movie, right? We'll see. We'll see how Shazam does. But clearly, Avatar 2 will do more than Shazam. It's not a competition. Shazam's a little film and it's fine. A Red Panda, let. John, I was really looking forward to The Flash, as was we all. And this is what I mean. They've disappointed us. We were excited, and now you're telling me I have to wait till June next year if I live to see it. Henry, my tallest finger loves giving people standing ovations, and this is to the current board of WB. Yeah, me too. Red Panda, let's the good part of this. Maybe they want the movies to be better. So why did they send the trailer to the cinema then? They knew the state of the movies. Maybe Discovery want them better. I don't know. Annual Christian, do you think the merged company will hire someone with good understanding of DC comic universe and film production exec, or is it going to still be Zaslav heading the cinematic universe? No. Zaslav is the CEO of Warner Discovery, the entire company. I'm assuming he will rebrand Warner Brothers Pictures into Warner Discovery Pictures. He will then appoint a CEO for the new Warner Discovery Pictures. They will set up, hopefully, a DC Studios where they'll appoint a president. That's where I think we're going. David Zaslav, someone who runs, a documentary company and, reality TV, is not going to head a comic book universe. Metahuven, I don't like Shazam. Fair enough. Henrik, the next time you buy a donut, complain that there's a hole in it. Abraham Herrera, they might actually piss Zaslav off. Yes, I think they sent the trailer to the cinema. Look what they did to Zack. They leaked his movie. Do you remember that on HBO Max? They leaked the scene of his movie. These people are fuckers. But they're not going to win. They're not going to win. John, does Jim Lee have any say in the DCEU movies? Well, he's part of the leadership. He's actually the chief operating officer of DC totally. Do I really think that title gives him any power? No. They put him there because he's Uncle Jim and everybody trusts him and likes him. Isaac makes edits. Who is Zaslav? David Zaslav is the CEO of Discovery. He will be the CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery when it's merged and the company is formed. The Legend CJ, at the end of the day, the fans are the ones getting screwed over. That's right, the Legend CJ. We are getting screwed over. We're their customer. And they have no respect for us. And now their films won't make as much money as they would have done because, as you say, they've screwed us over. Am I going to be as interested now in The Flash as I would have been? Am I going to be as interested in The Flash in June as I was now? Henry, there are some bad seeds that needs to get F away from DC. I hate that they are hurting our baby DC Mickey, Ricky. I'm sick of it. I love the yelling and the passion. Will this merger benefit DC in its entirety? Definitely, definitely. This is needed to happen for a very long time. Warner Brothers Pictures being sorted out and being run properly. This is something that's never been looked at. AT&T did nothing. Nothing. They knew what was going on. They knew there were issues, and they let them carry on. They just brought Ann Sarnoff in. It's time to sort this company out. Because what they've done this week just shows how incompetent they are. Dr. Zack will dance when the Snyderverse is restored. So will I. So will I. Isaac makes edits. Mick, do you think if the DCEU was well established like Marvel, would it have had even more success than Marvel has now? Well, if it was well established and it had consumer confidence, of course, that goes without saying. But it doesn't. Red Panda. So what DC movies are still in 2022? Black Adam and Shazam Fury of the Gods. That's it. 3 movies this year, including The Batman, 3 next year. Next year is Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, The Flash, and Blue Beetle. John, and The Flash was going to reset the DCEU. Yeah, but we don't know if that's the case anymore, do we? We don't know what they're playing at. These characters, these films mean a lot to people. They may just be comic book characters and films, silly films to them, but they mean something to us. The flow. DCEU will be all controversial unless Toby Emmerich and Hamada leave, especially Emmerich. He started deviating from the original plan. Listen, we all know that Zack Snyder is kind of a controversial filmmaker, that he doesn't make films for the mainstream audience. They maybe should have thought about all that stuff before they brought him on. I like his films, I like him. But if they wanted to go after the mainstream audience, maybe not bring a director in who doesn't care about the mainstream audience. Red Panda, The Flash needs to be very, very good because it's important for 2023 as Batman was important for 2022. Well, I don't trust that The Flash will be that good. My first Okafor, how do you think Shazam will do over Avatar 2? It's interesting, isn't it? It all depends. I mean, the movie sounds interesting. I think, well, I know that Wonder Woman's going to have one little scene in it. That's important. Cameos do matter, no matter what people say. And there are some strong rumours that Cavill is in that film as well. So if that's true, it's got a better chance. But to be clear, families and children loved Shazam. My nieces and nephews loved Shazam. So it's a good old-fashioned family movie, the first one. And if it goes down the same lines, then those children will go back to see it. So it's got a chance. John, I have got up to part 3 of Zack Snyder's Justice League. What do you think, John? The truth is, Man of Steel was a very good beginning, and it wasn't as controversial as BVS, and it's the film that Cavill prefers. That's why he wants a sequel to it. I think it's very interesting that Goya was pushed out, and Nolan was pushed out. I think the next movie would have been in better hands if they stayed around. Scott Edwards, what's up? What's up, Scott? Listen, The Flash is their most important film, or it was, and they had Christina Hodson writing the script. You know, the mind boggles. The mind boggles. Scott Edwards, the DCEU is not doomed. Well, thank you for your enthusiasm. I can't agree at the moment, but hey, let's see who's right. John, I love the flashback Darkseid battle. It's one of my favourite moments. It's sensational. It really is. Red Panda, who is her? Oh, Christina Hodson. She wrote Birds of Prey. She wrote Bumblebee. Isaac makes edits. What does this mean for Michael Keaton's Batman and Batgirl? You tell me. It's not looking good, is it? Scott Edwards, I'm excited for Black Adam and Shazam too. Well, let's hope you see them. Let's hope they release them when they say they will. Android 118 XX, the DCEU had a lot more potential than MCU. It just needed smart people behind the scenes, of course. I remember when I was really excited before Man of Steel was released because I knew the potential of the DCEU. Man of Steel is a great movie, though. It's, you know. Henry, Bumblebee was good, tough, but Birds of Prey was shit, yeah. The Flow. Zaslav has done his homework and knows what to do, putting audience demand first and not ignore them. Yeah, listen, he's been talking to people. He said he was going to talk to people who had been disbanded from the studio. Listen, you know, this guy, Discovery and this guy haven't put their money into this company just to allow these people to run roughshod over them. They're going. They're going. John, I did enjoy the Bumblebee movie. It wasn't everyone's cup of tea, though. That's the thing. And I don't think they're making any more, so that tells you something, doesn't it? And now Miss Christina Hodson's going off with her mate Margot Robbie to do Pirates of the Caribbean. That tells you everything, doesn't it? Meta Hoover, don't be pessimistic. It's Ukraine is a war going on. I know. And New Krishnan, Kevin Feige is successful because he knows the Marvel Universe well enough, introducing new movie characters and storylines with long vision, but all DC does is revisiting characters already set movie. You're going to have to explain that a bit deeper than that. I don't understand what you mean. Flo, how awesome would it be to have Cavill in either Black Adam or Shazam? I think he's in Shazam. Anna Christian, we need some smart people like Kevin to head the DC comic movie. As I said on my video today, there's no other franchises apart from the MCU that's got consumer confidence that can set these storylines up in one franchise and please people at every movie. It's not an easy thing to do. So there's no more Kevin Feiges out there. That's the thing. It's spat visuals. Do you think a new Justice League will be formed with Robert Pattinson as Batman after the DCEU's reset with Warner Brothers? I don't think that's the direction Matt Reeves is going in, no. And Matt Reeves won't allow his Batman to be brought into a central universe anyway. So it's not going to happen. Scott Edwards, they need more time to finish visual effects for The Flash and Aquaman 2. No, I don't agree, Scott. They knew their schedule. They knew how long they would have. They released a trailer for these films with the Batman. So they clearly, a week ago, had every intention of releasing these films this year. And they had no issue with VFX then, did they? The Flow, watch 3 episodes of Peacemaker. Definitely not for kids. Lots of nudity. Gunn went all out. He certainly did. Android 118X. I understand that people are disappointed, but these are exciting times for DC. Really looking forward for the post-merger era. Yes, from that point of view, it is exciting because they're going to sort things out. So that is exciting. But when you've got a bunch of films you think you're going to see and then you don't see them, it's a problem. But this was always going to come up with the merger happening. They were green lighting in hope of saving their positions, and it hasn't worked out. Red Panda, it's quite sad that you are optimistic about DC on a day and then pessimistic on the other day. Well, it's sad, but I don't think anyone can blame me for being pessimistic after what's happened. The Legend CJ, I'm expecting a lot of HBO Max series in the future. Yeah, it's a shame that most of us can't get HBO Max though, isn't it? Scott Edwards, why do you think they shifted the dates? I think it's because of the merger. And I don't think Discovery are happy with what they've seen. It's passive visual. Do you think the Batman could exceed past the trilogy with a full film? Definitely, yes. John, where do you think the Penguin series will be released? When? Oh, well, they're going to work now. I think she's written a pilot, the showrunner. Maybe that the back end of this year, maybe autumn or fall, as you Americans call it. Meta Hooven, I like Bumblebee and Birds of Prey, especially Harley and her hyena. The flow. First, Zaslav needs to do is to explain his plans for DC, not like Hamada being all silent. Yeah, it's never worked. It's never worked. Henrik, Mickey, why can't you get HBO Max? Because it's not available in most countries around the world, my friend. Henrik, parents say no. Abraham Herrera, man, why does it have to be so hard to love DC? It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Hush, come on. Why do you think Flash is delayed about 9 months? Maybe they are changing the story. Maybe. But that does. And maybe because Flash had to be delayed, the other movies had to be delayed. I don't know. Maybe that's it. If they're changing the story, it's because they were going to delete the Snyderverse, probably. It really does say, and I'll do my DCEU daily about this subject, that could be it. But it still concerns the merger. I think the Flash is the key reason we've had these delays. So because Discovery haven't been able to interfere up till now, maybe that's why they were delayed in such short notice. Isaac Mike said this, I feel like the Flash is the biggest piece of the puzzle. Yes, or this puzzle, definitely. I think this is evidence that the Snyderverse is being restored. Harsh Kana, are you excited about Doctor Strange? Definitely, yes, it looks an awesome film. Henrik, why don't you try and get a job at WBDC? How you could do a good job. I wish it's not that easy, is it? Anu Christian, I think DC should trust and have faith in the vision of directors so that we get more movies like the Batman, Matt Reeves' vision, and not interfere in their work. And hopefully, Anu Krishnan, that's what happens in the future. Red Panda, I think they are definitely changing the story. Maybe something about Zack Snyder's Justice League popped out. Maybe it is coming back. I agree. It's all to do with the merger and the Snyderverse. Abraham Herrera, bloody hell, my voice. I grew up with all DC animated, and it sucks to see the new kid on the block. Marvel get all the love. Yes, it's very frustrating. If you're a DC fan, the flow, I expect some announcement about the Snyderverse in the coming months, as do I, the flow. And I think finally we can say this isn't wishful thinking. And I'll be very happy, very happy. Henry, Ricky, you need to drink some tea, man. Good for throat. I can't drink anything right now. It's because I've nearly been on here for an hour talking. That's why. John, a fan trailer on YouTube called Zack Snyder's Retro Justice League trailer. You should check it out. I have. It's very good. Very good. The Flow, how well did you recover from COVID? Very well, very well. I had a slight cold, a flu. About 5 days I was testing positive for. Meta Hoover, Mick, get a drink. I can't. Henrik, how are the cinemas in Cyprus? Well, I wish I knew. They wouldn't let me in the other day because I hadn't updated my vaccine passport. But I did go to the cinema the other day last week to see the Batman. And it was hard work, believe you me, with this COVID. The Legend CJ, this decade can be for DC. The MCU is almost done after they introduce Galactus. After that, we can have the consumer confidence overall. Yes, it's up to the company to make sure they do a good job. And it's not necessarily about the downfall of the MCU. You can have both kind of franchises. The Flow, favourite scene in the Batman? Wow. Definitely when he's got mud all over him, dirt from saving people and he's looking up. Great shot. Car chase is a great shot. The opening narration is awesome. Hashkishan, Kana, I was waiting for the Batman for really long, but now when he's in the cinema, I have exams and my mother is not allowing me to go for the Batman. That's a shame. Pre-order it on Blu-ray. It's Pat's visuals. Do you think we will see Robert Pattinson reprise his role as Batman in the Penguin series and Arkham Asylum series? I think so, yes. Henrik, they got the ball in their court. I hope we get a Green Arrow movie or an HBO Max series, but maybe it's too soon because of Arrowverse. Well, Arrow's long gone, isn't he? Isaac makes edits. Hey, Mick, how would you handle the situation of the DCEU if you were some kind of executive or CEO in Discovery and Warner Brothers? I did make a video yesterday, actually, explaining what I would do with the DCEU. And I said I would also start with Superman, but it will be very different. Superman would have been around for 100 years. We would have John Corbin, aka Metallo, as the opening villain. John Corbin will be Clark's friend at the Daily Planet. He will become Metallo. Then Manchester Black and the Elite would turn up, putting pressure on him Superman to kill his friend John Corbin once he becomes Metallo. We have flashbacks to the Second World War where Superman was under pressure to kill the Germans, the Nazis, and Hitler, and he refuses. And that's basically an examination of Superman's no-kill policy and why he actually has it in place and why it's very important to his character. And I think we could have Superman as this character that's been around for a long time. And every post-credit scene, Brainiac is coming to Earth and he's getting closer and closer. The Flow, Aircut is definitely coming. So much teasing lately by Air. I haven't noticed. Henrik, I had a bad luck with both my wives. The first one abandoned me, but the second did not. That's good news. Abraham Herrera, it all comes down to creating a DC Studios. Absolutely. Definitely. I hope they got to do it. They got to do it. Harsh Karma, which is your favorite Batsuit? Oh, I think Batfleck. But Pattinson's is awesome. Android 118XX, what would have been your DCEU lineup? Well, I would have gone Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, no Suicide Squad. Only a Muppet puts a Suicide Squad movie as the third movie in a franchise. It's not a high-value IP. I don't get it. I never did get why that was put in the middle there. Never. If Zack had an idea to do a Suicide Squad versus the Justice League, I would have understood. I mean, that's what I would do maybe in a Justice League movie. Justice League versus the Suicide Squad. There's a lot of mileage in that. So the Green Lantern, Cyborg, maybe a lighter character like Plastic Man, Green Arrow. But in my first Superman movie, the Justice League would already be set up. It's already there. It doesn't need to be formed. I think it's a better way of doing it. The Flow. Do you prefer Batfleck or Pattinson? I like them both. I'll be honest. I don't have a preference. And it's too soon to start calling Pattinson the best for me, but I think they're both very valid versions of the character. John, do you think the Gotham Knights series will be any good? No, because it's from the people who made Batwoman. And basically, they're going to cancel Batwoman and replace it with Gotham Knights. I mean, I could be wrong. It could be awesome. I don't know who the showrunner's going to be. Henrik, who are the biggest DC villains? Oh, well, Lex Luthor, the Joker. I think Lex and the Joker are the biggest. Joss Whedon. Creation K. Good evening. Guten Tag. Bonjour. Good evening, Creation K. Smash a like on the video if you haven't already. Check out my poll. Is the DCEU doomed? Yes, 50%. No, 50%. I would be smashing the yes. Just so let you know that this iteration is doomed. But it does look like it's about the Flash, and be prepared very soon to hear reports about the Flash having reshoots. Already we're hearing Black Adam's having reshoots. So I mean, I think Zaslav's told them, hasn't he? Harsh Kana, like the video, guys. Thank you, Harsh. It should really be an automatic thing, everyone, as soon as you come in, unless you don't actually like me. But if you do like me, it's just, I always do when I go to people's videos, as soon as I get there, I make sure I press like. Creation, is the DCEU doomed? Well, that is the question of questions at the moment. Yep. And you, Christian, it's high time for DC to introduce new comic book characters and solo movies centered around few of them than revisiting Batman and Superman. Well, I know we're in the all or nothing generation, this or that, but you know what? It doesn't have to be instead of Superman and Batman, or Superman and Batman instead of others. They can all be part of the roster. That's what Bruce Timm did with his animation. You don't replace other characters with you don't have instead of Batman and Superman, or Batman and Superman instead of them. It doesn't have to be that way. Abraham Herrera, maybe I'm reaching because of the controversy, but I think Bryan Singer could make a good DC movies. He made the best X-Men movies, never forget. Well, he made Superman Returns. Did you like that film? And he's a disgraced director, so he ain't getting anywhere anytime soon. But yes, what he did with X-Men and X-Men 2 was sensational. Henrik, can we get a John Campea, Grace Randolph impression? Ha, ha, ha. Hello. I do like that mech. He looks very well endowed. But we're not going to keep on doing that because we want to talk about the matter in hand. Otherwise, it gets a bit silly. John, people who have seen the Shazam 2 test screening said it was good. Yes, they're very positive. And there weren't, I heard the reaction to the Black Adam test screenings and it was like the action's good. So that tells you everything. Creation K, I'm cringing. Oh dear. Stop looking in the mirror. Henrik, thank you. Yes, but a little silly goes a long way. Do you read DC comics? I don't read the comics, no. I'm a live action man. I mean, the excuse about the VFX is one of the poorest excuses I've ever heard, and I'm stunned that people are buying it. Stunned, I'm telling you. Fucking stunned. Yes, a little silly goes a long way, Henrik, but we don't want to ruin people's experience either. But it's good to have a laugh and a joke, don't get me wrong. Harsh Kana, why you don't edit your videos? Why should I? I don't have the equipment. I don't want to pay for editing software. Editing software is very expensive. I mean, if you want to give me the money to buy the best cameras, all the best stuff, then definitely I'll do it. But this is a very expensive business. I've done pretty well. I don't get loads of views, but the subscriber count's not bad. I'm happy. I'm here to talk with fellow nerds. It's nothing more than that. But of course I want better equipment. I want a better picture, better sound. Of course I want that. But, if anyone wants to send all the equipment to my address, then we can get going. Otherwise, you may have to leave my content if you're not happy, or just be patient with me. Henrik, I can recommend the new 52 for both Batman and Aquaman. It's super good. I hope those stories get turned into live action. Well, actually, most of the DCEU is inspired by the new 52, so that's pretty awesome. Anu Krishnan, any info on how the early screen reactions for Shazam 2 been? Apparently very good. Abraham Herrera, bring back Guillermo's JL Dark. Oh, yeah. Well, J.J. Abrams is meant to be doing Justice League Dark. Something tells me that's not happening. Poor J.J. Abrams, he thought he found a new home, didn't he? And I mean, Steven Spielberg was supposed to be making a DC movie. What happened now? Creation Game Mick, would you say that the DCEU and Snyderverse come hand in hand? Meaning, is it possible to bring one back without the other? No. How can you? It's his vision. If someone else directs it, my friend, it's not his vision. Because his visuals are very important in the way he directs. Without him, it doesn't work. Non-starter. Harsh Kana, do you think that Superman still deserves a sequel after about a decade? Yes, Superman's an important character. He's my favourite character. He should be front and centre in any DC live-action universe. Of course he deserves a sequel, or maybe start again. But we need Superman. The world needs Superman. John Marvel has to multiverse movies this year, and we have to wait until next year to get a DC multiverse movie. It's disgusting. It is disgusting. Henry, yeah, what the fuck is JJ doing anyway? It's been 1 or 2 years since we heard anything about what he was supposed to do. Yeah, I think we can say that JJ Abrams is going to be out the door. Android 118XX, what about Russo brothers directing a DC movie? Look, I wouldn't be upset if it happens, but I don't lay there at night thinking, oh, the Russo brothers. But they're very talented, yes. But there's other people I'd like to see before then. But there's lots of great directors out there. There's lots of great creatives. Unfortunately, we haven't had many of them. So what we're going to do in the next few days is look out and see if The Flash is having reshoots. But I can bet that movie to be delayed till June, that's a long time, isn't it? The issue is that movie. So we may not be getting a reboot anymore. This all points to Zack's return. Harsh Khanna, would you like a Marvel versus DC or Marvel and DC? Would you like a Marvel versus... You mean a crossover? It would be fun, but it's not a priority for me. I'll say that. It is not a priority for me, but I'd be excited, yes. I think beyond crossovers, I just want to see good films. That's it. Superman the movie is a great film. Superman 2 is a great film. You know, Batman 89 is a great film. Just make great films that we can remember. Question K, if not the Snyderverse, where would you place films like Aquaman, Flash, Suicide Squad, etc.? Snyder's characters are in them. but they are directed by other people. Where would you place films like them? Do you mean a ranking, Creation K? What do you mean? Quality-wise? What do you mean? I mean, for example, Aquaman. Actually, I'll wait till you get back to me because I don't know what you actually mean. Oh, you mean where would I put them in the franchise? Well, James Wan is a great director, so I'd keep him, right? He's going to give us a great sequel. I'm actually really excited to see that. Flash, I don't know what's going on with that. Suicide Squad, etc. Snyder's characters are in there, but they directed by other people. Yet, the casting are there. 80s Rewind, the Times 90s. Hi, Mick, man. I just found out they moved all those dates on the movies. What's your opinion? Why? Yes, it looks like, my friend, that the Discovery people who are coming in and merging with AT&T are not happy. It looks like they're reshooting the Flash movie. I don't have any evidence of that, but I will be on the phone after this live to talk to some people about that. It looks like Snyder's back in play, and that might be why the Flash was delayed. Probably the Flash movie deletes the Snyderverse, and clearly Discovery were none too pleased about that. So it's 50-50. Is the DCEU doomed? I can't split it apart. You can't make your minds up. I mean, it's been doomed for a very long time. So we've got a really good turnout tonight. It's a good live chat. But ultimately, you know, I started this channel because my friend, she dared me to do a channel. So we had a little bet. And she told me she thought I could get up to 1,000 subscribers just by sitting in front of a tablet or a basic laptop like this and just being me. And it's turned out to be true. But ultimately, I like doing this. Ultimately, I want you to have the best experience. I want you to see me in HD and hear crisp sound. It's not, and, you know, edit it and be flashy and do what everyone else does. First of all, I wouldn't know where to start. Second of all, it's expensive. And so it's difficult. Creation Case, thank you for answering. And my problem for the confusing question, the main thing I'm confused about is if Snyder films are not returning, do films like Aquaman, Flash, and etc. have the same fate? No, because we're getting Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. We're getting the Flash. So those things are already happening without Snyder. With Snyder, I think Snyder's going to take those actors and do his stuff with them. And I think it wouldn't surprise me if Snyder's got a bigger role in the future of DC live action like he had before. We'll see that. 80s Rewind, the Times 90s. Is it a good thing they've moved the dates? Well, listen to me, right? It's not good that they sent a trailer that they were going to release these films last week in cinemas and before. It's not good that they've waited so long. But if this means we can improve things, ultimately it's a good thing. But you don't do this to your customers. Abraham Herrera, I had this great idea the other day for a Superman short film called Couple Hours for Yourself. Let me know what it's all about. John, if Zack comes back, the Snyder haters will not be happy. Well, listen, you know what? There's haters for everyone. Even I've got haters. Every time I press play, there's people who are not happy. I'm online. So we've all got haters. I'm afraid that's how life is these days. We're not a united people. But you're always going to have hate in your life. Creation K, props to your sister for encouraging you to do this. I can see that this is something you have a passion for. Yeah, you know, I love films. I love storytelling. I love DC. And yeah, I have my opinions. I've got a good sense of smell on these things. And yes, I enjoy doing them. And I think about this stuff all the time. Isaac makes edits. Are you able to turn on donations? No. I I am not, and there's not even anything here for donations, but no, my talk time, I need to double my view time before I can even get monetized. I think it's about 1.7. I think I need about 4. 118 double X. I remember a couple of months ago, Snyder teasing Final Crisis in one of his posts. Forget which platform. Yes, it's probably on Vero. Henry, did you grow up in the UK or Cyprus? I was born in the UK, my friend. But my parents were Greek Cypriots when they were still alive. 80s rewind, the times 90s. Mick, do you think DC is doomed? I don't think DC as a medium is doomed. I think that the plans these people had are doomed and we're going to go in a different direction. But I think ultimately, when these people who are coming in grab hold of it, I think if we give them 5 years, we'll have something very exciting. But Warner Brothers Pictures must be gutted, must be disbanded, and there can be no more kind of stepping over that. And I was willing to back them before they delayed these movies because I was excited for this strategy. But it was never going to happen. Not really. Never going to happen. Not like the way they said it was. Because of the merger. Because that CEO had gone around talking to everyone in the industry. DC is a great platform. It's not doomed at all. But as it is now, it is. Bonesaw is coming. Good to be here again. Tigan is Mick. Very well. Imegala. Bosta Baisasi. But we're not going to be talking Greek all the time. 80s rewind, the times 90s. I was so excited for all these DC movies, as was I. This kind of sucks with the dates being moved, yes. And it's mysterious. James Schmidt. Oh, isn't he a charmer? I love you, James. John, DC do great animated movies. They do, all down to Bruce Timm. Oh, James, you are but a fool. Darling, I love you, though you treat me cruel. Lovely bald head, James. Do you want to touch it, James? Do you want to feel it, James? It's always little boys with little sausages that come at real men like me. Isaac makes edits. I want to see a live-action Damian Wayne. Oh, yeah, wouldn't we all? That'd be awesome. But Batman has to evolve before we can get that. Oh, James, don't be sad, my fool. I want to see a live-action Damian Wayne. Creation K, what happened? I don't know. Adam and Eve, the world was created. It depends what you believe. I don't know. Bonesaw is coming. I'm actually not worried about the future of DC. Delays happened all the time. Henry, Mickey, you should go on Idol. No, thanks. Creation K, this is real strange because my name is James. No, there was a troll that came in. I'm sure you saw him, and I'm just winding him up. These little boys, you see, they come from TikTok and they think they're going to have a go at the title. 80s Rewind at times 90s. Still excited. Black Adam, now Shazam 2 is this year. If they stick to the dates, yeah. Harsh Khanna, why in Peacemaker the logo of Wayne Enterprises was from the Nolan universe, but there was also a JL from Snyder universe? That's interesting, but Peacemaker is part of the DCEU, so I don't know what happened there. It's probably hinting towards the multiverse strategy, which of course Crashing K was getting confused. Felt like we're breaking the fourth wall like Deadpool. John, what do you think is going to happen with James Gunn in the DCEU? A very good question. As he was brought in by Warner Brothers Pictures, as everyone has been, even Matt Reeves, everything is in doubt now. Everything is in doubt until they come out and say what's going to happen. Android 118 XX, don't understand to release that We Need Heroes teaser. I'm sure they knew what was incoming from the merger from a long time. So why do this? Maybe to make an impression. They were trying to pressure them, Discovery, to let them go ahead with their plans by exciting us. Then, probably so Discovery could see the reaction from the public, so they wouldn't do this. They lost. Their tactics didn't work. Creation K, also I had an idea for a Batman story the other day, or part of one. Is it appropriate to share it here? As long as it's not rude or offensive, my friend. Always remember, everyone, when you're on these live chats, there's other people on the chats, so let's be polite, let's be respectful, or I'll vanish you. Isaac makes edits. Yes, share it, Creation K. Creation K, none of these ideas will ever see the light of day probably, but I'm grateful to share anything with you guys. Awesome. Patman, can Discovery execs influence WB decisions before the merger? Is it legally allowed? No, it's not legally allowed, but it wasn't legally allowed for me to have a threesome with my girlfriend's mum and her best friend, and for my first time. But it happens. I used to steal money from my mum's purse. That was illegal, but I still did it. Let's not pretend that these things happen in business. Of course they can influence. They're coming. They're coming next month. Crazy guy, sorry, by appropriate I meant is it off topic? No, you can do it and I can read it. Harsh Khanna, can there be a Batman No Way Home with Bale, Affleck and Pattinson? It's not going to happen, no. Isaac makes edits. Nothing is ever off topic. I talked to Mick about Manchester United once in a while, yeah. What about Chelsea, Isaac makes edits? Oh my God. Henrik, how was the threesome? It was the best event of my life. What a way to have your first experience with two older women. It was fantastic. Isaac makes edits like the battering they got against City. Yep. What can I say? It's a hard time at the moment. Bit like being a DC fan. Android 118 XX. What do you think will happen to Patty Jenkins after the merger? Will they give her full reign again for Wonder Woman 3 or hire a new director? She'll be done. I think she's already done. She's been fired off all her other movies as well. Bones was coming. I'm seeing a lot of people Twitter saying that the Snyderverse will be restored because of the Discovery merger. What do you think? I agree. I think this is why these delays have happened. I think they're changing the Flash movie. Henrik, high five, Mickey. Also, I had a great time with a woman that was 20 years older than me. Ha ha ha. Yeah, older women are the best. Don't bother with younger women. Immature. Too much hassle. They may have the looks, but they don't have anything else. Hungry, desperate housewives. They're the best. Previously on Desperate Housewives. Who was your favourite Desperate Housewives, everyone? Mine was Brie. I love Marcia Cross. She's a lovely woman. Great actress. I might rewatch Desperate Housewives. I love that show. Hallelujah. Henrik, the blonde one, she oozed sex. Right, okay. Oh, you mean Edie Britt? She accused the showrunner of harassing her. And he won the case. Android 118 XX. Who would you want to direct Wonder Woman 3? Well, my number one would be Zack Snyder. He gave us a great first movie, and it was him really behind it with comic book writer Alan Heinberg. I think Zack's the perfect choice. Let's see what happens. What you don't want is a woke director to touch a female character, because they'll ruin it. Isaac makes edits. Sevilla has beaten West Ham. Let's go. Harsh Kana, do you think that a different director could have handled Dceu in a better way? What, better than the Snyder Cut? Well, I love the Snyder Cut, but you don't do a Superman rebirth story, as I keep on saying, in a Justice League movie, so that element could have been handled better. I don't know. I think, listen, he made an untraditional Justice League movie. I think commercially it could have been better handled, yeah. But as a work of art, Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut is beautiful. John, is Rogue Squadron still happening? Probably, but not directed by Patty Jenkins. It's on the slate, but who knows, my friend. Abraham Herrera. Superman is washing dishes and Lois is cleaning the kitchen after dinner. Lois says to Clark, hey, I've got this article to write. Going to take a while. You should take a couple of hours for yourself. Wow. Hallelujah. 11 people in the chat. Oh, 51% of you think the DCEU isn't doomed. 49%. It's actually a very close vote. How exciting. Henrik, 16 likes, sick. Get in there, Mickey. Creation K, I will share the notes of the story in a minute. Looking forward to it, Creation K. Bonesaw is coming. If the Snyderverse is getting restored, you think Ray Fisher will be back as Cyborg? Yeah. Ray Fisher a few weeks ago told people not to lose hope. I haven't agreed with everything Ray Fisher has done and how he's conducted himself, but ultimately the guy made some good valid points and did fight for the integrity of Zack Snyder's vision. Henrik, what has two thumbs and likes to say? Fun, fun, fun. Don't know. I have no idea. John, Henrik, John Funkampia. Right. John, I hope we hear something about the Batgirl movie in the next couple of days. Well, eventually something's going to have to be said, but because they haven't set an official date, there's no rush. Harsh Kana, why is there a shocked MOJ in your channel name? It's a shock. That MOJ is actually shocked and excited. There's no reason, I just thought it'd be cool. No deep reason. I'm a very random person. I do random things. Henry, why is there a naked woman behind you, Mickey? I don't know. I think you've maybe been taking something, Henrik, and you're seeing things. Because if there was a naked woman behind me, this video would be going off. Anna Christian, do you see the Batman movie crossed 1 billion at the box office? The China release is still pending, which is a big movie market. I think the Batman movie potentially could cross 1 billion, but it's not a certainty, but it's looking good. Abraham Herrera cut to Superman flying above it enough to get a good look of the entire United States, listens quietly for a while and says, kind of a quiet day, then flies to another country. Awesome. Android 118XX, if you had to choose one Superman power, what would it be? And if you could take one Batman gadget home, which one will you take? It wouldn't be a gadget. I'd take the Batmobile, mostly, more accurately, the tumbler, and Superman's powers, flying. Flying would be awesome, even though I'm scared of heights. So I would take that. The Legend CJ, when will we get the box office numbers for this week for the Batman? I think they give you a daily rundown, but I think at the weekend you'll start to hear about Saturday or Sunday about how the weekend's going. Saturday, you'll probably find out if it's a big drop-off, a little drop-off. So that's when things will get interesting again. If it's a huge drop-off, then no chance of 1 billion. If it's a big drop-off, it will just about probably get to 500 million. It's crossed 300 million globally now, so over 300 million. It was released about a week ago. John, why did the Joker movie not get any merchandise? I don't know. I just don't think it wasn't that type of movie, I don't think. They clearly weren't interested. I mean, maybe people would have bought some dolls. I don't know. Harris Selick, thoughts on the Flash movie? Very disappointed. Clearly, that's the reason, that movie and the long delay, why the others have been delayed and brought forward. You don't do it the year you're going to release it, but clearly there's an issue. It's to do with the takeover, and clearly they're going to change that movie dramatically. But it's hugely disappointing. I'm very frustrated about it. But ultimately, if they're going to change the narrative and there's something going on and could mean they're restoring the Snyderverse, that will be very exciting. And Christian, which all DC characters, villain or superhero, you think should make their debut into the roster in coming years? Definitely Green Lantern. The Green Lantern core is DC Star Wars. There's so much potential in that whole universe. You wouldn't even have to cross it over. It's a universe within itself. So much potential. Android 118XX. Zack Snyder's Justice League opening is the best opening to a comic book movie I have ever seen. It's an amazing opening, isn't it? It really is. Henrik, when is the Green Lantern series movies coming? Still think Tom Cruise could be an older Lantern. Not for me. I'd rather Robert Downey Jr. But that might not even be happening now. Because we haven't heard anything, so... This was the problem. They were green lighting. They knew Discovery would come. They knew they were in trouble. But they kept on trying to push the narrative, hoping for the best. And it didn't work. Abraham Herrera cut to a series of situations around the world where would be shown from the perspective of the people that are being saved by Superman like it's never been shown before. I think it's a cool idea. Yes, definitely. I'd be interested in seeing that. The Legend CJ, do you think they'll make a lot of HBO Max series for a lot of DC characters that will connect to the movies, like Green Lantern? I do. But unfortunately, Green Lantern isn't available all around the HBO Max isn't available all around the world, and that's the problem. This Inferno, DC was doomed already in 2017. It was, yes. Quite right too. Harry Selick, restoring the Snyderverse will be a huge mistake. The man just doesn't understand the characters. I disagree, Harry Selick, but you're entitled to your opinion. It's his perception. It's how he wants to represent them. It doesn't mean he doesn't understand them. I think he understands Wonder Woman. It's the way he wants to represent them. Whether people like him or not, you don't do to him what they did. And I personally like what he did, but not everybody has to like it. I certainly think it's better than most of the stuff we've got since he's gone. But it doesn't just have to be about Snyder. Just bring in the right people to make great movies. And if Snyder's got a universe there, why not? Among others. Hallelujah. Patman, do you think Nolan will come back to WB after the merger? Definitely. Zaslav's probably already spoken to him yet. But he's busy right now anyway, so it's irrelevant. Abraham Herrera, at the end of the short, Superman goes back home in time to go to bed with Lois, and you would have learned how much Superman can do in a couple of hours. Awesome. Android 118XX, what was your favourite scene from Zack Snyder's Justice League? I think it's definitely the Eux's flashback, when we see Man, the Amazons, the Atlanteans all fighting together. I think that's amazing. And it's such an achievement. And Jack Kirby's family, nephew, great nephew, whatever, came out on Twitter when they saw Darkseid and congratulated Zack. Spot on. That's the biggest compliment you can pay someone, isn't it? So Zack gets it. Henrik, speaking of Nolan, did you like Tenet? I found it be a very messy film, and the sound was way too loud, but a cool, okay film. Yeah, Tenet's okay. I prefer Inception and the other one he did, Interstellar, and his other movies. His Batman movies are awesome. He's a good director. I think he's a better director than a writer. I think his brother, Jonathan Nolan, is probably more talented in terms of writing. And he was involved with Person of Interest as well, which was a great show. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Tenet didn't make much of an impression on me, not because it was a bad film. It's just, I think once you've seen one Nolan film, you've seen them all, personally. And plus, he casts all the same people, mostly. Henry, give me some Britney, Mickey. Hallelujah. Annual Krishnan thoughts on a solo Doctor Fate movie like Doctor Strange or MCU, and probably Pierce Brosnan could pass the mantle to a younger character. Yes, I'd love a Doctor Fate solo movie. I think he's probably better suited. I mean, listen, there's a lot you could do with Doctor Fate. He's a very interesting character because whoever wears the helmet of Naboo is affected mentally. As we've seen in the comics and saw in Smallville. So it would be a very interesting arc to do for the character. Would I give him his own platform, or maybe have him show up in other films? Or maybe his own HBO Max show would be quite interesting as well. But Dr. Fate is definitely one of my more favourite DC characters. Very interesting character. Smash a like on the video if you haven't. Check out the poll. Is the DCEU doomed? What should we say? Another 5 minutes of the chat, I think. Yeah, another 5 minutes. When we get to 145, we'll end the video. Henrik, I need some news on the merger. All this BS you are tearing me apart, Lisa. Well, the news on the merger is that it's happening. It's been ratified by the government, and we just have to wait till maybe next month, I think. And that's it, really. There's nothing else to know. Henrik, okay, have any fun plans for the weekend? Beer, movie? Yeah. Clubbing, beers. See what I can get up to. There's always something to do. Isaac make edits. Pattinson is my Batman and Selena should be my woman. Why not? Why not? Creation K, nearly done. Yeah, I wonder what happened to you. I'm going to sign off in about 5 minutes, Creation K, so you need to do it before then. I'm getting tired, my voice is sore, my throat's sore. Anu Christian, have you been a part of any early test screenings recently? Nope. No test screenings recently, I'm afraid. Abraham Herrera, I don't think it's doomed. Abraham Herrera, I just think they need to finish it. Doesn't that mean the same thing? John, do you think that David will do a live event online to let the fans know what they are doing with the DCEU going forward? Well, I think DC Fandom is a damn good idea, and I think they'll stick with that. I don't think David Zaslav is going to be the face of DC. He's the CEO of a whole company. He will appoint people to run these different departments. I think the DCEU, as we know it right now, is doomed. When you look at films being delayed at a moment's notice, that's a problem. When they're advertising the films a week ago. So obviously that's not a good thing. But I think ultimately for the future, this is the right thing. So I think they're changing the Flash movie. That's obvious. What they're doing, I don't know. But it's not a good sign as well. I mean, hopefully they're doing it for the right reasons. Seven months delay. Harris Selick, I hope they restart from scratch, man. New actors, new visions. I wouldn't be upset about that because, something has to be done. Creation K, Batman The Last Laugh. The scene takes place towards the climax of the story. Batman knows the threat that is ahead of him as he alerts Jim Gordon about the Joker's plans. And Christian, will Flashpoint reset the cast of DCEU? Anything's possible. Creation K, GCPD have taken the Joker into Arkham, but it's not him. It's not him. It's merely a copycat, tortured by the Joker to laugh hysterically and imitate his aesthetic. Creation K, the GCPD realize it's too late. The Batman tells Gordon, you and I both know that the Joker is not going into Arkham. That's not him. Gordon asks as they both watch the copycat being dragged away. Creation K, now, no, come with me, Batman rushes Gordon to the Batmobile since his car was destroyed in the explosion. Here, Batman whispers as he passes Gordon the keys, you're not coming with me. Gordon asks. Creation K, no, not this time. Batman states, listen, Jim, carefully. Something is going to go down. Track my location on this device. Creation K, if you don't hear from me in 20 minutes, you know what to do. Where am I? Hear from me in 20 minutes. You know what to do. Batman exclaims. The Batman leaps off the bridge, gliding with his damaged batsuit towards the dark, foggy sewers of Gotham. Creation K, cut to scene with Joker. The Batman punches the Joker and he falls flat. He glides towards the serum and injects himself with it before the Joker can use it on Robin. Robin escapes, climbing back up to the surface. The Joker looks at Batman, laughing uncontrollably as he struggles. Oh, Batsy, you've outdone yourself this time. But the Joker is stunned, shocked even. Creation K, the Batman cries intermediately with laughter. The Joker looks at Batman with jealousy. He has lost because he now realizes that the Batman is more insane than him. Creation K, you know what the difference is between me and you, Joker, Batman says, while drowning in laughter. I'm necessarily you. What? I'm necessary. You are not. Very, very good, Creation K. Very impressive. It's like reading a comic book. Creation K. The Joker is in a last attempt to outdo Batman, disfigures himself, but the Batman continues to laugh. Creation K. The Joker cries, bleeding to his death. Oh dear, sounds nasty. Creation K, that's it. Well done. Very good, Creation K. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for turning up. Creation K, sorry it took so long. No problem. This has been Movies TV Mad. I'm Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss this perfection. I've really, really enjoyed tonight's live chat. I had to transfer from my phone to PC. Oh, wow, that's cool. Henrik, Creation K, GG. Creation K, good night. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you very much. John, see you tomorrow, Mick. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, John. And everyone else, thank you for the likes. Thank you for getting involved with the poll. The DC live-action universe will reassert itself. We will get to a better plane of existence. But for now, we don't know what's going on. I will keep on looking into it, talking to my sources, and I will let you know more tomorrow. Until then, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen. See you again soon, and thank you.